it's a question, and I want to pick your thoughts about it. What happened to local development? A fact that should make every Ugandan basketball fan stop. A fact that should make every Ugandan basketball fan stop and think. Nyans, what happened to local development? Maybe before we get to that, for someone who is hearing the word local development for the first time, how would you break that down for them?
Local development, basically, we're talking about basketball, and it's the grassroots programs, incentives, and all that comes with building the game of basketball, from umpires, from officials, and all that. But in this case, I would think from that post shared on Facebook, it's basically the question is what happened to local development, that we don't have, let me say, 100%. Local players maybe on the national team, or a certain kind of percentage, and it's a joint blame question, not a question, not a blame game, but it's a joint response for everyone who's a stakeholder in this game of basketball. We had a time where we had literally the first five, I would say, on the national team. They were all bred.
Exactly, like these people that I'm seeing here in this pic that is flying around social media. But for new people that are new in this game, man, most of them didn't see this. But myself, I did.
And I don't think if those guys are even way back in time, because that's I would say like 15 or 10 years ago. That's not way back. But the whole thing is that...
You mean we had only Ugandans?
Most of them were Ugandans. Basically, even other players, because there are other Ugandans who are in the diaspora that equally have the right to play for their national team, just like anyone who is here. But it starts from home. That what are we doing as a basketball community to build this kind of involvement on building capacity in regards to the national team? Because often, me personally, I've realized we prefer putting money into maybe players. Actually, the kind of scouting we are looking at, it's only players who are already playing maybe somewhere. We've seen them, their performance. We are looking at statistics and all that. But remember, how we play here is a little bit different from how those guys play the other side. And from my understanding of the game, I would think having developmental basketball from home, whereby we're looking at, let me say, the under-18 team, maybe high school games, we're looking at junior basketball, things like that. That should be our foundation of building of the game of basketball. And some of the stakeholders in this, I would say, yes, government should be involved, FUBA should be involved, as well as other, entities, and also corporate spaces. But from what I've been seeing, it's sad to say, but we've had moments where you're seeing an international name mentioned or added to the roster, but to be honest, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
So in some of the comments about this quote, someone here called Akau says that thanks for bringing up this question. It's a bit late. FUBA marketing and regulating NBL was low and a bit corrupt. The whole system was invaded by the City Oilers, making the league boring and less competitive. Is this question supposed to undermine or put the National Basketball League into a microscope to kind of understand its working and all that? Is this what the question is all about?
It's a little bit tricky on me to answer it, maybe how you want me to, but to be honest, I witnessed the team that went to represent Uganda, I think in Afro basketball, and we had just ended our NBL season. And on that squad, I remember the championship team, I think, had one player, Obleng. And I look back again and ask myself, what was the criteria of someone to play on the national team? Then on top of that, I also noticed something, that City Oil had almost 4 or 5 players. And remember, they just had a sweep that season. They had a sweep they won the first 2 games. And remember from our previous videos, we had talked about something like that Namongo was just coming out of Bal with the fatigue, but they were forced to play City Oil, so which they had to, and they lost 2 games back to back. But when after the fatigue, in assumption from Namongo Blazer fans, they swept City Oil 4 games straight, and there was no really struggle into it. And on top of that, still City Oil had also 2 other foreign players that came on the roster, and we also had some little bit of drama in between. You get? So from a squad which struggled to play Summit, the same squad lost 4 games straight, hands down, not like a small margin, hands down, 4 straight games. Then when we get to the national team, then we bring players who are literally struggling to play. Titus was still recovering from an injury. Yes, he was playing, but he not to his full capacity, because I've seen him do good things. You get? Then Nava was recovering from an injury, of which even when he was playing for City Oil during the finals, he was also not converting like he should be converting. Then I also saw Kaira, who was at the time playing for UCU, which was beaten by, I've forgotten the team which beat, I think UCU was 3rd place. Kaira came in. I'm not disputing his contribution. I'm not disputing his addition to the national team because of his height and all the other things that he contributes to the team. But why are we having 1 player on the championship team registered on the national team, and then we are having players who are in between recovery, future on the team? And on top of that, when you look at our floor, the starting 5, we are literally having I think at one moment, if I can be corrected by guys in the comments, is a moment we had Dengel, we had Komagum, we had Opong, we had I've forgotten the other young man from who represented Uganda on the under 18. And when you look at the floor, we literally don't have local players. Does it mean we don't have basketball going on in the country? You get it? So that's something that didn't settle with me well, and it was quite an embarrassment. And when you look at how we played, and also the group that we were dropped in, it had I would say very good teams compared to the African, basketball space. So when you look at all those things, is it City Oil management making the roster for the national team, or we have a separate body for the national team? And then my question again comes to ask, because these are questions maybe people are not comfortable to ask. We have what we call a CEO of the national team. What does it do? Then we have a president of FUBA. What does it do? You get that?
Well, not to